Hello and welcome to The Crystal Men.
Yes,
I'm Jim.
hello, and I am Tom.
And yeah, we're a Steven Universe rewatch podcast. We rewatch Steven Universe episodes one at a time. We talk about them. Today's episode was...
Bubble Buddies! And
Yes.
so that
Sorry,
is...
Sorry, no, I was just going to say, I forgot the episode number. It is episode 7.
There it is. Yeah. So today's episode is... shit. And this is the very first episode that we meet Connie.
And Onion. First time we see Onion.
Oh my god. Yeah, you're right. Huh. I didn't really pay attention to that, but that's absolutely true. So really, let's just talk about Onion for the entire episode.
the real MVP, I think we can say.
Alright, Onion bothers me, actually.
He does.
I do not like him as a character. I don't get it. Like, at first it was kind of funny, and then it just became, like, not funny. And then, especially in Steven Universe Future, where he didn't age a day, like, what is he supposed to be?
Some sort of creepy monster, I'd assume. Yeah, he kind of sucks. I don't like Onion. I never liked Onion. Actually, there's one episode where Steven babysits him that I think is kind of funny. This is like Steven Universe, not Steven Universe Future.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, I think he's a character that gets way too much focus. He's perfectly fine for this a little gag in this episode. But it's funny. I noticed they changed his design slightly because he looked really creepy in this one.
Yeah.
His eyes are really far apart, and they had like almost like a reptile-like shape, and they definitely made him a lot cuter.
Yeah.
Subsequently,
but you summed it up perfectly. It's that they just give him too much time for the kind of character he is. Like in later episodes, like he's perfect for tiny gags. You don't need to make anything more out of him.
Yeah, it's just like it feels like the writer. There's probably a couple of writers that really liked Onion, and they just insert him a lot into the story. But it's not for me.
Not for me either. Connie, on the other hand, adorable. I love her, and Steven just is instantly going for the girl.
Yeah, I forgot how he was like totally crushing on her, like instantly. Like that was like the whole reason behind their relationship as like friendships.
Which, and I like that because it does bother me when, like, bothers me. Kids need to make out. No. It bothers me when, like, a show clearly has romantic intent between two characters, but never, ever addresses it.
Yeah.
Like, until, like the very end. Like, it's like, oh, we're just friends. But episode 153, maybe we're not just friends. So I just like that it started out where he's like, no, like, I like her.
Yeah, and like we see, like, jumping ahead a little bit, not that we really adhere to strict form or any sort of formula in this podcast, but near the end we find out that Steven, like, noticed her, like, a year before this episode, and, like, he was, like, at least noticing her back then and was, like, interested in her. Yeah. And it is nice because I think especially in children's cartoons, they don't, as you said, like, they don't really do that. Like, I've actually recently been rewatching Adventure Time because I just got Hulu, and I'm just like, oh my god, it's all on Hulu. Early on, like, Bubblegum Princess is a character that you see, like, really prominently in the first season, and she's a pretty important character, but it's funny because initially, like, their relationship, like Finn and Bubblegum Princess, is really just, like, friends. Like, there really isn't, like, much of, like, a romantic connection, and any sort of things that are, like, romance-y about it are, like, jokes, because it's, like, the idea of Finn being too young to really be, like, into that kind of thing. Where Steven, it's funny because Steven looks younger, but he is, like, a little bit more mature in that regard.
Yeah, that is interesting. I don't know. I like my ships. What can I say?
And it's kind of perfect. Like, I can't imagine, especially in the series, like, there isn't any other character that I would think would be better for Steven or Connie than Steven and Connie.
Yeah. Well, and they play off each other so perfectly, too. I mean, just, like, personality types, and I don't know. It was just a good matching of characters.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And one thing that I had totally forgotten about was that Connie's dad was like a beach security guard. Because like way later on, they make a lot of references to her mom being a doctor, and that becomes like a plot point later on, actually. But I was like, huh, because the whole like justification is like, oh, the reason why I was only here last summer was because my dad works as a security guard, and we like move around the country from beach to beach, essentially.
Yeah, that is interesting. That they never really touch on that afterwards, do they? It's all about her mom being the doctor, which is fine, but
it's funny because it makes more sense from like I don't know, like from a plot point of view to have her dad be this like security guard. But then later on, we see like there's multiple times where Connie's mom being a doctor is like pretty relevant to the plot
situation, yeah.
Or the situation, yeah. So I mean, I can see that. It also does feel like I don't know, this maybe this might be a little weird to say, but it feels a little stereotypical to have like a Indian doctor. I don't know. Maybe
no, I know what you mean. Like just, the strict tutelage kind of thing.
Yeah, that's another thing that I think is kind of weird that we see about Connie's like especially later in Steven Universe Future is like she's constantly cramming, or she's in cram school. It's like, oh, studies are so important, and I feel like that is kind of like an Asian stereotype of
definitely
really overbearing parents, which I think is, I don't know, like a show like Steven Universe, I think it's interesting that they decide to go with that kind of, because it is kind of a stereotype. Like it's not really true, but it's something that you can see observed a lot.
Yeah, and that's true. A show like Steven Universe typically tries to divert from any stereotypes and break the mold in some situations with characters, so it is interesting to see that. But I mean, it's not like it adds a huge, I don't know how to word this. It's not like it like defines Connie's character per se. Like it's just a thing. I think it would be different if like they made that a huge plot point where they're like, oh, like, I'm studying so hard, but I don't want to study, but X and Y, like it comes up and it definitely like impacts her character, but I don't know. It's just something that's like noticeable, but not like a huge deal in my mind.
Yeah, and I wouldn't say it's like negative in any way, and I think it kind of, the way that we're taught, or the way we learn that she's kind of brainy is very like interesting and natural. Like the one bit that I really like from this episode that we really haven't even started recapping yet is the bit when Steven takes her to the dock and she starts like spouting off all these like specific boat names and boat types, and how it's like she's gotten really knowledgeable about subjects because she's been lonely, because she doesn't have friends, so she's turned to books and turned to like study as a way to kind of cope with that.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, geez, the book she's reading in the episode is Catcher in the Rye.
Damn, I missed that. I didn't even realize that. Holy shit.
Yeah, so, perfect controversial knowledge book right there. But, no, and I like how, like, I like when a show doesn't have to be like, oh, look at me, I'm so smart, I can do X and Y. It's, like, having it come out bits and pieces in conversation like that is just a nice way to... It's a good way to portray intelligence within a show.
And as you said, yeah, like Connie is such a good foil to Steven. Not even foil, but just like a good like companion, because they are just so different. Like she is so learned, she's so much smarter, and it's not just like book smart. Like we see later on that she's very clever and in the way that she thinks, and she's able to put things together really easily. Where Steven is way more like emotion driven, and he has like a hard time putting his thoughts into words, and he feels more than he like thinks.
To put it into D&D terms, Connie has high intelligence and wisdom, but I would say Steven has high charisma.
I think that's a pretty good way to sum it up.
Yeah, but it's great though, because I love when Steven's like, "What is school?"
That is really funny, and it's one of those moments that's like, it's really like edifying as an audience member to be like, yes, they're actually going to answer this question that I've had in the back of my head. Like, what does Steven do all day?
Yeah, like, That was such a big like wow thing for me. I was like, wow, God, like, what kind of parent is Craig?
Yeah, he's awful, but that's why we love him.
Yeah.
All right, but that's not really. I think that's a later episode.
It is a later episode. I constantly will be doing that. I'm sorry. Let's sum up this episode.
That's kind of the beauty of this being like a rewatch show, is that we can talk about the entirety of Steven Universe. And actually, we'll bring it up later, but I have a really cool connection to Future that it's just really fun to like look at Future and then look at these episodes and be like, huh, yeah. Wow, they really did set that thing up. All right. Well, I'll start recapping the episode now.
Give us the rundown.
So Steven notices a girl outside his window.
And what girl would that be?
Her name is Connie Maheshwaran. She is a dorky little girl, and she's just sitting out reading. Apparently, Catcher in the Rye. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
But so Steven is like, "Oh my god, guys! I gotta go say hi to her and be her friend." And the gems are all like, There's a really cute scene.
It is
where
cute.
Amethyst is like really excited, and she's like, Steven likes someone, like teasing him like an older sister. And then of course Pearl is the mom.
She's like, let's set up a play date.
I love Pearl. This is one of those scenes where I was like, I fucking love Pearl so much.
Well, I love this part because, like, it's a good instance of them just being a family, you know?
Yeah, and it's one of the things that works so well in the series. It just endears you to the characters immediately.
Oh, yeah. And Garnet's like, no, he's a big boy. Let him do it.
Oh, actually, there's one little thing. So I'm trying to be as obnoxious as possible and call out all of the anime references.
I'll do it.
And this isn't really an anime reference per se, but Steven keeps talking about his funky flow. And I was looking... I haven't looked it up yet. I'm actually searching it now. But when I heard of funky flow, I immediately thought of Parappa the Rappa.
Oh, Parappa the Rappa. Holy crap.
I believe it's the... in the first game, when he raps with the iguana, Rasta iguana guy,
yes,
he says, got the funky flow. But now I'm looking it up now, and apparently, Biggie Smalls coined the term funky flow. So,
I was about to say, if that was a Parappa reference, like, wait.
Oh, actually, sorry. Notorious B.I.G. actually just said, I got the funk flow to make your drawers drop slow. So, it is possible that this is a veiled Parappa the Rapper reference.
Oh, we are getting layers here.
Yeah.
Kick, punch, it's all in the mind.
I fucking love Parappa.
Oh my god.
Probably a little too much.
I loved it, but like as a kid, my uncle had it, and like we tried to play it on the PlayStation, and we literally could not get past the first.
It's so hard.
First rap.
It is an incredibly hard game because the game kind of lies to you about how it wants you to play.
Yeah, and I just could not do it. And I'm like, oh my god. I got it for the PSP. Kicked its ass.
Hell yeah. I'm so proud of you, Tom.
Thank you. Totally relevant to Steven Universe.
So yeah, Steven, he brings up his funky flow that he learned from Tamanegi Sensei, and he goes down and he tries to talk to Connie, but so I guess in hindsight it's supposed to be the worm? Is the worm like screeching and like making the... You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I guess because the worm made the trench, like... I thought it would have been really cool if it was like a cluster reference early on.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I guess you could technically kind of extrapolate that, but I think they meant it to be the worm.
Yeah, it makes more sense. But yeah, so basically a weird like screech happens and it causes part of the temple to fall onto Connie, where Steven accidentally deploys a bubble. And it's really funny to me that if Steven just didn't happen to be walking towards her at this moment, Connie would have fucking died.
She would have fucking died.
Connie would have been fucking red paste on the beach.
Oh my god. Yeah, imagine like Steven like was just playing video games upstairs, didn't realize she was out there, and then just goes outside and just a bloody mess on the floor.
Yeah, and then he probably would develop some like time travel power or something to help him save the day, but
I just gotta
thankfully we didn't get
give
that.
her a little lick, and then she'll become pink.
Hey, that'd be fucking cool. I'd like that.
Yeah, pink Connie. But yeah, so they're bubbles, and she's like, "Oh, thank you." can you get me out of this? And he cannot. He realizes he does not know how to do it, so he tries to go back to the gems, but they can't roll up the hill.
That is a really small detail that I really appreciate, because it's not like they just created this like impossible obstacle for this episode. Like, we've seen how it is, like, there is a hill going up to Steven's house, so
Yeah,
it makes a lot of sense. So, and then it becomes like kind of a hijinks ensue.
yeah, it's a
like,
great way to
gotta
get rid of
go
the
around
gems.
town.
Just like, oh, can't go up the hill. So then they go to the freaking big donut. Sadie and Lars, best plot of the whole damn show.
I get so angry when I see Stady. I feel like every time we see Sadie, I'm gonna be so mad and angry. I hate her.
You just do not like her.
No, she fucking sucks.
I
That one
can't wait till we
episode
get
kills
to
her character for me.
Which episode?
Where she strands Lars and Steven on a tropical island because she wants to bone Lars.
I cannot wait until we get to like the seriously Sadie-centric episodes.
Seriously Sadie-centric.
Seriously Sadie.
That's going to be our new side podcast. Seriously Sadie-centric.
Now on Disney Channel. Yeah, no, but so Sadie and Lars start arguing after Lars makes fun of Steven for being trapped in there. They try to smash it a couple times. Does not work. So they decide to go to Onion, which is where we first meet him. You're right.
Yeah, Steven's like, Onion, harpoon gun. Hit us with a harpoon gun.
Yeah, escalating it very quickly.
And I really do like this gag where Onion shoots the harpoon gun, reflects off of the bubble, and it just sinks another boat. Like, that's just really funny to me.
Just ruined some guy's day.
And yeah, Onion is totally just like cool with it. Like, he's like, yeah, this is fun.
I do this normally.
How much would it suck though this is like in real life too, to be a boat owner and just go to where you parked your boat and it's just gone?
Oh yeah, like,
it's just not there anymore.
Like, here's the thing, dude. Boats are maintenance. Like, you got to put in a lot of love to a boat. So, I think that poor guy's gonna have a really, really tough time. Or maybe it's Onion getting rid of the competition for his dad.
Oh, there's so many layers to this.
Oh, onions have layers.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
Oh, God. So we go to Funland.
We see Mr. Smiley for 2 seconds. Steven's whole plan is like, we're gonna get the roller coaster to crash into us. And then Connie's like, but then what happens after it crashes into us? He's like, we're free.
Yeah.
Which is a funny joke.
I do love that. Yeah, they are very lucky the bubble just has not popped. But so they get on the tracks and the the train hits them and sends them into the ocean instead. Which, like, I forget, were there people on the roller coaster when it hit them?
There were, yeah, they were. So what happens? The roller coaster smashes into them, and then Mr. Smiley does the emergency brake, so we see people get like whiplash.
Oh yeah.
As this roller coaster is like immediately forced into a stop.
They're just ruining people's day.
Yeah, all because Steven just wants a cute date with his little waifu.
Yeah, little waifu. I think he kept the bubble up on purpose.
Kind of. Well, that's kind of like brings us to the finale. So yeah, another thing that I think is kind of weird, and this is just me being like fucking like idiot jerk off, who was like, if the bubble's full of air, why does it sink to the bottom of the ocean?
Yes. I totally agree. My logic is the bubble's like actually pretty dense,
super heavy. Yeah. I mean that's fine. Yeah, I'm just, this is like, my brain has been wired to notice these things, and I hate it.
No, but it's entirely valid. It's
but yeah, so they have a cute little thing where Steven, so this is another thing that I was like, oh, this is kind of a connection to Steven Universe Future. So Steven, he had found a glow bracelet that Connie dropped a year before. He kept it in the freezer. This is one of these things that like felt really nostalgic for me. I remember being a little kid putting my glow sticks in the freezer. And I don't know if it's real or not. I don't know if that is like actually how you keep them, but that's what I did as a kid.
I have never done that. Like, would it
really
actually last a year if you had it in the freezer?
I guarantee that it wouldn't. But I know that it would last a few more days if you put him in the freezer. I fucking do that all the time with my cousin because we would always hang out and we'd always get glue sticks, throw them in the freezer.
I would just whack people with them and then be done.
And then mom takes them away.
Yeah.
But so yeah, and then so there's a scene where Steven bends down on one knee and hands Connie this ring. Which is like, oh, whoa. Like, oh, is Steven proposing to Connie? Will Steven propose to Connie in the future?
In the Steven Universe future?
Tune in later. It's Steven Universe future time.
Yeah, that is true. That's a great, like, Steven Universe future had some great throwbacks. They did very well. Yeah, and very cute. Not so cute in Steven Universe future, but...
No, it's definitely, all right, Steven, you're an adult now. This is not acceptable.
Yes.
To be fair, he doesn't actually propose. It's just kind of a cute moment where he's like, hey, I noticed you lost this thing, and I've been thinking about you and it. And then Connie's flattered, and she realizes, oh my god, I do have a friend.
Whoa. Oh, yeah, because she was getting mad because she was like, Steven, you have no fucking idea what you're doing.
Which is true.
Entirely valid. I mean...
I'm very much, like, with Connie in this. Like, yeah. Steven has been ruining the day.
Glad someone told him, too, because, first reality check.
Yeah, really time to burst his bubble, if you know what I
mean. Yeah, and then the monster comes. And then, yeah, but so once Steven does, once they have that conversation, Steven realizes that love was the key all along. Just kidding.
Basically, you're right though, because it's like the moment that she says, I think the word's like, no, I actually had a really good day. That's when the bubble pops.
Yeah, that is true.
And then, yeah, they swim up to shore, and you're like, oh, the episode's going to be over now. And then the worm finds them and attacks them again.
Yeah. They're like, oh, it was the glow sticks all along, glow bracelet. So they trap the... What is the name of the worm?
Oh, fuck. I meant to look it up. So, another thing, and this is actually, I mentioned earlier in the show, that there was a connection to Steven Universe Future. This is a character, this worm becomes a gem that we see in Steven Universe Future.
Wait, which gem?
She's one of the many new gems that are introduced. I'm trying to find her name. She's fucking adorable. She has one of the best designs. Also, the worm looks really cool. I like how it's like translucent.
Yes.
They keep that aspect in her character design. And she looks really freaking cute.
Let me see. Art. Oh, shoot, you're right. Oh my god, yeah.
It's really, I love that so much that they didn't just forget about all of these little like one-off characters and really incorporated them.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there's the Crab Girl. There's a bunch of gems from the original series that we see in Universe.
Let me try not to butcher this. Orange Spodamine?
Spodamine? Huh. Interesting. I've never heard of that gem before.
Yeah, me neither.
There are a fuck ton of gems in real life.
There really is. Like, I was like, oh, what happens when they run out of gems? But I don't think they would run out of gems.
No, I don't think they did. When I was making my gemsona, I was looking through a very long list of gems, and there are a fuck ton.
There's a ton. Look up your gems, people.
Yeah, look up your gem. Really just show respect to your gems. Yeah. Also, oh my god, Orange Spodamine, this character is so fucking cute. She has like a little like skirt
top.
like top combo. It is so fucking adorable.
She is actually really adorable.
I love this. I really love how they took these like monster designs and then reimagined them as gems. I think that worked really well in a lot of the cases. Like I love the crab gem. She's so cute.
Yes. I do love that. I like just clever writers or artists, I guess. But real fast to cap off the episode, the gems come out and want to introduce themselves, and then Garnet stops them and says to not mess up Steven's funky flow, and then Connie asks what that is, and he gets all embarrassed. But once again, has Connie seen gems before?
She's acting pretty calm.
I will ask this every time. She got put in a bubble. Like, if I were her, I'd be like, what is happening? You're magic. What? Like, but she kind of just rolled with the punches. So clearly, it can't be that abnormal. I don't know.
Steven kind of hand waves it all away by literally just saying, like, I'm kind of magic. Or he says, like, I'm magic. That's why this is happening. And she doesn't really give a shit.
Yeah, she doesn't question it. Like,
and so this is a young woman who is very scholarly, and she's very aware of science and things, I would assume. Yeah. It is interesting that she wouldn't be immediately super curious about why magic is happening to her right now.
Yeah, what kind of species is this giant worm attacking us? What are these multicolored aliens? Like, just, I don't know.
Actually, like, kind of thinking about it, I know that the Ghibli movies serve, like, a decent amount of inspiration in, like, probably a lot of modern cartoon.
Oh, yeah.
But in Steven, you see some Ghibli reference here and there. I mean, there's a character that is named Kiki, I believe. But this kind of reminds me of Kiki's Delivery Service, where, like, there are just witches in this world. Like, there's just witches, and, like, people get pretty friendly with Kiki. I don't know if you've ever seen Kiki before, have you?
I have not, unfortunately.
It's just, like, it's pretty good. I think it's one of the lesser Miyazaki films. Yeah. If I'm going to be really snobbish about it. But it's kind of like, she becomes really close with another girl in the movie, and she's like kind of, she has like really great advice about like artist block. Actually, that's kind of what the movie's really about. But like she's totally like fine with Kiki just being a witch and being magical. She's not interested in learning more, really. She just wants to hang out with Kiki. So maybe that's kind of the inspiration, where it's like these people don't really care that magic exists because they're kind of wrapped up in their own lives already.
Yeah. Maybe.
I don't know. It doesn't really work with Connie, though, because she's like a lonely, bored kid.
Yeah, you think if anything, she would be the most interested. But
yeah,
I'm chalking it up to gems have influenced the world, and I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm chalking it up to it's a cartoon.
All right, Ronaldo, with your secret shadow government conspiracies about gems.
God, it's all snake people. All the way down.
I was gonna say snake people all the way down.
Yeah, so that's the episode. I mean, it was really, the whole purpose of the episode was to introduce Connie, and Connie is now introduced, and we will never see her again.
Nope, very unimportant character.
Very unimportant. No, I thought it was a good episode. Like, it's cute. It's a cute episode. It's fun to see them just kind of, like, we've all been there with a girl, where you're like, oh, I gotta impress her, and then just screw up.
Especially that age. It's
God, yeah.
It's very intimidating to, like, have a crush, or to try and have a conversation with someone of the opposite sex. And then, of course, the situation Steven's in is he's literally trapped in a bubble with her.
Yeah.
So it's like it's kind of like your worst nightmare come true.
And you're trying to be like, like, it'll be fine, like, we'll do this, it's fun.
Yeah, that's another thing. It's fun to like look at this cartoon made for children and then relate it to my adult life, where I feel like I kind of can relate to Steven in that regard, where there's a lot of times where everything is fucking falling apart, but I'm like adamant that I will present that it is not, and like try and make sure that everyone around me is at least believing that things are good.
Well, it's the dog and a fire meme. This is fine.
Really,
everything is fine. Yeah, no, I mean, like, there wasn't anything crazy, though, that, like, happens plot-wise in this episode, aside from introducing Connie. And, I guess, Onion.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's fairly, it's just one of those episodes where it's kind of like, the big deal is like, oh, Steven has a whole brand new power that even he didn't know about.
Oh, God, what am I saying? I'm like, oh, nothing ever. Yeah, literally, this is the episode where he first bubbles. True. Okay, I take it back. A lot of stuff, I guess, did happen. But, yeah.
It's not really, like, a huge lore episode. Like, I know what you're saying.
Just in terms of, like... and the bubble will vary... So, okay, actually, like, the bubble is not porous, right?
No,
like,
it's completely airtight, as Steven mentions.
Okay. So, I don't know why I thought it would be porous, but... No, that's not what bothers me. Okay. Sorry. What bothers me is, we're gonna go way ahead to the episode where Steven's on the moon, and yeah, spoilers. And he gets flung out into space, and so he bubbles to protect himself. Where did that air come from?
Damn, you broke it. You fucking broke the code.
Yeah, like I guess you could be like, oh, it's like the remnant of the air that was getting shot out of the gem observatory. Like I guess, but and then you know what? Why does the observatory have air? Do gems need air?
Does Steven need to breathe air? I don't remember if that's like explicitly stated.
Yeah, actually,
I think he does. I'm pretty sure that he does because he's human. But I don't know. I mean, like sometimes you just have to be like, this is a cartoon.
Jimmy,
reality does not apply.
Scrutinize every damn little detail. I need it to be 100% based in reality, or else my immersion is just destroyed.
Hey, I mean, why else are we here?
Yeah. No.
Why else are we here?
Yeah. I just remember that episode. I'm like, huh, can he breathe right now? But yeah, bubbles are cool and powerful. I also love how the bubble develops later too, like when he gets stronger.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. But that's just me talking about bubbles. Yeah, any other comments?
I actually did have one thing I kind of mentioned to you before we started recording, but this episode made me just extremely nostalgic in like many ways, and I kind of mentioned the glow stick that Connie wears that really just reminded me of being a kid, and all the stuff on the beach. Like I just have a lot of memories of when I was younger, spending a lot of beach. My uncle had a pizzeria down by the shore.
Did he really?
Yeah, and I actually worked there for a few years as a not a busboy, as a dishwasher.
Oh damn, I didn't know that.
During the summers, yeah. But so I spent a lot of time in the beach and like that beach town. So I just have a lot of memories of going to the boardwalk and just the kind of vibe. So it was really funny because I mean, obviously most of Steven takes place in Beach City, but this episode really hit it for me. Like, this is the scene when they were walking through the carnival or whatever you want to call that, the boardwalk area, and it was just like seeing all the signs and I don't know, something. It just hit right with me. I was like, damn, I miss the beach. I wish I could go to the beach.
I am right there with you. I would love to be in that position, being able to walk around the boardwalk right now. But no, like, Beach City does such a good job of evoking that beach feel. I do love it. Like, just the local beach feel, you know? I mean,
yeah.
Like, it's just a certain atmosphere that it instantly just feels nice and comforting. Like,
and it was so fucking hot today. Today was like in the 80s.
Yes.
And it just made me wish I could be just like down by the shore with like the nice breeze and
especially like this time of the day, like as we're recording, it's like the sun's just starting to go down kind of thing. Which that's like my favorite time of the day at the beach, when like all the lights on the rides start lighting up and just like you still kind of have that orange sun in the background.
Yeah, it's really nice.
So pleasant. Let's go to the beach.
You know, fucking would love to right now. My one friend is actually in Korea at the moment. He's teaching English abroad, and he's been saying, "Oh yeah, I've been going to the beach every day here because we can now." And I'm like, "Fuck you."
Damn it. That must be not. What's the temperature there right now?
I don't know. It's actually pretty temperate, I think, where he lives or is living currently. But I'm sure it's super nice.
Well, let's just go and we'll say hi to the Steven crew.
Yeah, we know that Steven Universe is animated in Korea, so
so there you go. Nah, that does sound nice. But yeah, Steven Universe is nice, and I like it. And this episode
100% agree.
This episode was nice, and it made me happy.
Yeah, it did. That's the one thing. I just love having Steven it just does make me happy. It captures such a specific vibe that like no other cartoons do, especially like this kind of like 11-minute whatever episodic cartoons.
Yeah. Well, because it's not like again, it's not the crazy antics. Like, yeah, there's stuff that happens, but there's also like that sense of relatability to it with the whole beach scenario and like just and and being a kid and having this kind of feeling where
and having gem powers.
Yeah, and having a gem inside of my belly button. No, but like
even more so for like us, because Rebecca Sugar based Beach City off of like East Coast beaches, like
yes.
particularly in Delaware. Like, it's really funny that she says this actually, because Rehoboth Beach is like one of the biggest inspirations for Beach City, but Rehoboth Beach is like packed constantly, yes. And it's fucking huge. So I feel like Beach City feels like so much of a smaller town than Rehoboth.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, like, that's the thing. I don't like. I just because I've been to like Ocean City Boardwalk the most of any beach like, beach area, like at the boardwalk part hits me like that, but the rest of the town, it just feels like just one of those smaller, like less known areas that I just love,
Yeah, 100%. I just thought of something. Really want it to happen in the future. We're going to do an episode one day where we're going to record one of these podcasts on a beach.
Yes.
We're going to have a fucking beach episode.
And then we'll dance romantically to some music after you say you can't dance, and then we'll fuse. And it'll be...
Hey, that sounds pretty good.
And we'll be gorgeous, Jimmy.
I'm waiting for all the fan art to roll in of our two gems, or gemstones fusing.
Oh, what would we even be?
I don't know. I forget what mine looks like, so I need to look at both the designs and come up with something.
Fuse us, Jimmy. Make us beautiful. All right. Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess this is a good point to end it.
Yeah.
Give us the outro, Jimmy.
So yeah, you can follow us. Actually, we have a Twitter now. It's called The Crystal Men, @TheCrystalMen. Check us out there. We're on YouTube. We're on almost said Instagram. We're not on Instagram. We're on Spotify. We're on pretty much anywhere you can get a podcast. Check us out if you're somewhere else. And as I said, I do upload all these to YouTube as well.
And if you like, comment, and subscribe, and smash that bell, I'll give each of you a kiss.
Yeah, if you any interaction that you can have with us is great. If you're on YouTube, any like, comment, subscribe. If you're on Spotify, I guess you can't review us there because they don't have that kind of feature. But follow us on Spotify.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just talk us up with your friends. Send us around. Every little bit helps. Mm-hmm. It's very exciting. Yeah. Do it. Do it. Do it.
Sorry. And if you have anything that you want us to talk about, let us know.
Hell yeah. We're open. I was actually wondering if I should... It's also great to just talk about this on air when I could just talk about it not on air. I was wondering if I should just give out an email address that we can have people like send in. Maybe when we get a little bit more traction, I'll put that out there.
That's not a bad idea, though.
Yeah, because obviously we do have like an account or like an email. So yeah, that'd be fun.
It would be.
All right, well, we'll think about that.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that off podcast. I love you. I love you more than Jimmy.
It's true. I hate you.
Yeah, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.